All right, so today we're going to talk about projects. And if we kind of review a little bit, we've already talked about our vision, right? Which helps us to get clarity on what we want in our life, in our business. And then goals kind of gave us focus, right? Like, what do we really want to focus on and what do we want to achieve? Or what do we want to manifest if we're more into doing that? But now we're actually talking about like getting down into the nitty-gritty of doing the work because, as they say, God helps those who help themselves. So if you actually take movement towards something, and I'll give you a funny story about this, about taking movement towards something. So when I was younger, I always wanted to have a show dog, right? And, but I didn't want to show dogs. So I had a lot of dogs throughout my life, but it wasn't until 6 years ago that the universe finally gave me my show dog. It's pretty funny. I got this little girl right here. This is Coco, right? And I woke her up. So she's a little squeaky right now. And her brother, this is the show dog. Her brother came a year later, right? And hi, baby. The reason I got him was because the breeder had noticed, that I care for Coco very much, and I'd always posted on Facebook and everything. So she calls me up a year after I had Coco, and she says, would you like to have her brother? I'm like, her exact brother? She's like, yeah, from the exact same breed and everything. He's actually a retired show dog. And I had to laugh because the universe had finally brought me what I wanted. And I didn't do a thing to get that, right? Except get Coco in the first place. So I tell you that because there's a lot of other things in this world that I achieved so much faster because I simply worked on them. So if you want to just manifest things and not move forward on them, not do things, then you might be waiting, about 45 years until the universe can make things happen and put those into place if you're not willing to work for them. You might finally get what you want. However, if you work towards whatever it is, your goals that you want, you're going to get them a heck of a lot faster. Okay? So that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about projects. And so today I'm going to show you how I use projects inside of Tana. I'm going to show you a very simple project, SuperTag, and you can actually get this inside of SmartGuides. And so join SmartGuides and you can get this SuperTag, but I'm also going to show you some more complex projects and how I actually modify Tana so that it works specifically for my company, right? So let's talk about the simple project first, right? And so I have a project coming up, develop JV partners, right? I'm going to do that within this month. And so let's go inside of it. I already created it, and I've got our impact rank. And if you don't know what an impact rank, go back, look at some of the vision stuff, the goals stuff, and some of the weekly review stuff. You'll understand impact rank a lot more. But what I want to have you focus on right now, because we've already talked about all this other stuff, is the end result, right? And so we want to put in here, I am working on So what am I working on? I'm reaching out to coaches to develop JV partners to help me to promote my business and their businesses. And then it feels like I'm helping a lot of people and we are winning. So that is the feeling that I'll get as a result of completing this project, right? Now, what I've done over here is I have added a little bit of AI magic, and so we can push on this, and the AI will go out and with all of its project management skills and the existing tasks that I have in here, it will actually create a project plan for me. So we're going to sit here patiently watching as she does her work. So here is our project outline. And so let's have a look. I'm going to open everything up here. Okay, cool. So this is a neat thing, is that even with the little amount of information that it got, it's given me some great ideas for things that I could do to move this project forward. And that's what I really love the most about AI is, especially like if you're writing something, it helps you from that cold start. When I have like a cold start, it's like, oh my God, what do I do, right? Whereas if we actually have a look with the help of AI, we can say, okay, what are we going to do? I am going to get rid of this first one because that doesn't really apply, right? Boom, gone. So what I could do is research potential JV partners who align with their business goals. I am going to turn that into a task, okay? And we're not going to go into tasks too much today because that's coming up next week. But for right now, I'm just going to add that as a task. Create a list of JV partners. Yes, we are going to do that. That's kind of like a given. So I am going to get rid of that. And of course, where would I make that list of JV partners? Inside of Tana, right? I want everything to be inside of one place so that I don't have to use a whole bunch of different software. I can just use my Tana. I've got all my notes. I've got all my projects, my goals, my tasks, everything I'm working on. I actually have my full CRM, everything that we do all inside of Tana so that I don't have to be jumping around in different tools, right? So evaluate the potential partners based on their potential impact and alignment with your business. Absolutely, great idea. I'm not going to make that a task, but it's kind of going to be a part of that other research up above. You know what? I can actually just dump it inside of that task by clicking tab, and now it's part of that earlier task, right? So there we go. That's one thing we want to do. Outreach and negotiation, develop an outreach strategy, create a compelling pitch. And we don't need to go through each one of these, but I just want you to have that idea that we've got all of these things here that the AI has given us as ideas for actually completing this project. So that's one way to use projects, right? As I said, if you jump in SmartGuides.ai and download the projects app in the Tana apps folder, this is what you're going to get, this actual tool right here. But now let's talk about how I hyper AI this SuperTag. So, for instance, what we're working on today is this plan with projects in Tana. And you'll notice it has a different SuperTag to it, right? So now what I'm going to introduce you to is the idea of extending a super tag. And you can learn more about this inside of SuperGuides, but I just want you to know about it right now and some of the things that you can do with it. So if I go inside of Produce, this is a special type of project called produce. It's where I am producing a YouTube video, and I'm not going to tell you the rest because I'm going to show you. Okay? But date was due yesterday. Oops, let me change that to today. There we go. So we got it to today. It's a production thing, know that. We want that as part of our goal of having all of this training on Tana plan completed. And the end result, I don't have to put that in there because I'm not really going to create a project plan in this type, but do you remember that from the earlier project, right? And that's because this is an extension of that super tag. And now here is where it changes. So I am already recording this in Screen Studio, right? Then it's got a whole bunch of things that I go through in order to complete this type of project in my business. So I don't need any project planning software. I can do everything inside of Tana. And it's very, very specific, again, to the type of work that I do. So, it's like every step of the way that I work on my project. So I'm not using a generic project, just like the one that you just saw, right? That might be in a tool that I purchased. I can actually just create it the way that I want to create it. So the key thing here that is super cool that I built into this is that once I get the transcript, I actually pop it in here, or I could do it the other way and I could create a transcript, right? But either way, most of the time what I do is I just copy the transcript of the video that I'm doing right now and I pop it in there. Then after I'm done with that, what I actually do is I move it on to the publish part where I start to publish a blog post from it. So I'm just going to add the hashtag publish. Okay, so now you notice it's got some different commands, right? So now what I can do is I wrote the command in here. And again, if this is like something that you want me to show you inside of SmartGuides, I can totally show you how I did all of this. So if you guys produce YouTube videos, let me know and I can actually show you how to build all of this inside of SmartGuides. But what I do then is I get the keywords from the script, and then I make any headline improvements from that script, right? So, like, for instance, so far it's called Plan with Projects in Tana Plan. By the time we're done, it's probably not going to be called that because it will have read through this entire script that I'm going through right now, and it will give me some better marketing headlines, right? Then it will create an outline, and then I will double check that outline. I will put my own personal words into it, right? That's the way that I work with AI, is that I don't just kind of let AI do everything. I want me to be in it. And if I don't think I would have said that, or I wouldn't have said it that way, then I modify that in the outline. And then after that, I'm done with the draft. Okay. So you'll notice now we've got some blue icons in here, right? And these blue icons are part of the actual publish piece of this extended super tag, right? So I know all of the parts that are like which pieces of these are part of the blog, right? So there we have our keywords come in here, they're up here. And then we have our target keyword, like what do we actually want to focus on? Then we improve the headlines up above. It should do the commands. The outline comes in here. Then it reminds me I have to create images out of this. And I do that with Canva. If you guys want to learn that, yes, I can show you inside of SmartGuides. You guys just let me know if that's something that you want to learn how to do. Mainly, I focus on teaching you how to use Tana and then our SmartGuides platform, but I will help you out if you need it. Okay? And then we have, I put the final draft in here just like as a record before I upload it onto my website. Now, in the future, remember, I always had these little in the future things, right? What we could do is I could hook that up to the Webflow API and I could actually push that out to my website. But we're not going to talk about that today. I just want to show you like the way that I actually use projects inside of Tana today, or my projects, my specific business projects, right? What this is based on the Skyrocket framework. And so I have, my information on this. So it reminds me of what am I actually trying to achieve with this whole thing that I'm doing here. It creates the SEO meta description for me. I can put in there any affiliate links that I would have used. So for instance, I know that I'm going to use Tana, right? And again, this is like part of my actual business, right? So if I go in there, I can look, oh, what is this affiliate link? Oh, there we go. I've actually got that information. And if I actually go inside of that super tag, I can see that that's inside of an affiliation with Tana, right? And so everything is like connected to everything properly. Just wanted you to be aware of that, right? I don't know if you're going to want to get that crazy with it, but for me, I like to know that information. I like to have it all in there. We're in the video production part of this. When I published it, and then I create an image for X. I create an article for X with the AI in here as well. I post that to X. I post that same article with a few little modifications because it can't quite be as long inside of LinkedIn. I add a little 3-minute video for LinkedIn. And am I linking this internally to my other blog posts that I've done? Yeah, I'll probably link this to I want to, yes, transform your life, that one. As an example, I'm going to link it to that blog post on the website, right? So now I'm done all that, right? And now what am I going to do? Now I'm going to hit promote. Promote, there we go, promote your work. And now we are going to go down here and we'll start to see these turn into green, and that's telling you what the promote super tag is actually using here. So we'll actually go down a little bit further and this will all start to make sense. So now we've got the customer avatar, we've got an Instagram caption, the URL where I actually posted it, a Twitter caption I can create with the AI, right? All of this I can do inside of Tana. And again, think about the future, we could post that to an API to the actual platform, right? Again, not going to do that today. Those are things that are coming up. But I just wanted to give you that quick understanding today of how I actually use projects inside of Tana, both like simple, generic type of projects and how it can help me plan, and then much more complex projects that I create for my actual business. And if you guys need help doing that, let me know. That's a service that we can have for members of SmartGuides. You can actually hire me and I can go through and kind of reverse engineer your existing processes and start to put that into SuperTags and things like that. But I hope that you really enjoyed this video that we did today. And go out there and have a great life. Do lots of good things with Tana. Peace.